artificial intelligence, automation, Uttar Pradesh, Hyderabad, Telangana, Hyderabad.
No, that's what we are doing.
Dr. Sajid Oncologist from Kerala, Tamil Nadu. Anesthetist from Chennai. Dr. Venkatesh, anesthetist from Chennai. Dr. Venkatesh, nephrologist and AIPF, Tamil Nadu State President and Vice President of Doctors Association of Social Equality. Dr. Shanti, they are the main speakers today. Other members are there, so they have not come here. Dr. Shanti will narrate the members of the people who have not come here. So now we will start. First, Dr. Rajani will present. Dr. Shanti is going to present.
Good morning, friends. Am I audible?
Ma'am.
I'm sorry for the முடியாது எனக்கு இத பார்க்கணும் வருது நீங்க வெச்சுக்கோங்க நீங்க அங்க வைங்க.
Okay.
So sorry for the external noise, sir.
Light இல்ல.
So I saw a reel in Facebook. So one patient has given, nowadays everybody's in the Facebook, everybody's talking, no? I have been admitted in a hospital with a bill of 1.2 crore. Amount is 1.2 crore. Then I just sent that bill to ChatGPT to verify what is the problem. Is there 1.2 crore is okay? 1.2 crore is okay. No, already there is noise. Okay, ma? So the ChatGPT said, ChatGPT scrutinized the bill and have found out there are so many duplication in that. Then it marked that duplication and all these things illogical one. Then the bill came to 23 lakhs only. It was done in a minute by ChatGPT. Immediately he approached that corporate hospital and then it was reduced. Just by sending the bill to the ChatGPT, his bill was reduced from 1.2 crore to 23 lakhs. In that, no, there is no advocate. He did not went to any advocate. No court process, no time, just few minutes. That is the advantage of artificial intelligence. And you know what is artificial intelligence? And this is the Ministry of Health. Yesterday came in the Facebook. It is Ministry of Health Facebook. In that, the cabinet minister is telling, we are going to train 50,000 doctors in the country as a first installment in the artificial intelligence. They want to train, Government of India wants to train 50,000 doctors. And now I am happy that 40,000 doctors have been already registered. So that is the importance what the government is giving. And next is there are so many corporate people are trying to give training to the doctors and the nurses and the things. And this is a very important document by the Government of India about the artificial intelligence in healthcare in India. This is a very important document. I request the students also to go through it later. You can download it. And this is another, see the number of pages, 342-page document uploaded by the Government of India in the National NB website, Prize for the Future of the Healthcare Transforming with Technology. Why I am telling all these things means, the AIPF is conducting this workshop in a very right time because the Government of India is very keen in this. The reason for that we will discuss later. Okay, so it has got impact in every field, every aspect of the medical field, treatment, everywhere. But why it is becoming the talk of the town? It is not costly, it is cheap. It is does the work in a very speedy manner and there is no shortage. At a time, even 1 lakh people can put anything in the ChatGPT or get the help of artificial intelligence. You cannot say that the doctor is busy, doctor is not available like that. No shortage, no fatigue. because the person who is giving the service to you, whether it is ChatGPT or a search engine, it's not going to get fatigue, and there is less error, and there is no salary. And most importantly, no trade union business. Most of the here are trade union. So there is no trade union. So that they are very happy to introduce this. And the area advantage of technology in every aspect, from starting from identifying a drug, preparing a new drug, and genetics everywhere it is used. And this is the one statement says even in 2016, 86% of the healthcare sector is being run by the AI. That means we are 10 years before itself. So even to get the appointment of the consultant, you can sit at home, and through an app you can get the appointment of the doctor. And this is, if you want to go in person, you can get the appointment through doctor. If you don't want to go in person and you just want to get a digital consultation over telemedicine, you can. This Babylon app is a very famous app. Since decade it is being worked. And then telemedicine. So you can get everything at a distance from your home. And then what the doctor will say, undergo this blood test. So you need not go to the lab. So it is also automated. And Mr. Kalidasan is here. He is holding the Lab Technician Association for the whole country. They are afraid of that their jobs will go. So this is the lab. Everything is fully automated, and the treatment design. And it's a typhoid. For 10 patients are having typhoid, means same drug will be given, but all 10 will react in a different manner. So now in JIPMER also we have this department. JIPMER means it is in Pondicherry. We have the department. Patient genetically they are tested to give particular drug for a particular patient. Pharmacogenetics is coming, and it is already being in practice. And this is very important. Many of us, even old comrades are there, Alzheimer, so they will forget. They will take the morning dose, after some time again they will take the morning dose, forgetting that they have already taken. So, or sometimes they will not take at all. So this is the problem, and that is why this app is there, that is IQ app. It is attached with camera, smartphone and web camera. It will watch, it will tell the son or daughter that it is not being taken. And then it will alert the person to take the medicine you have forgotten. It will alert the person not to take again. You should not double dose all these things. So that is how it is functioning. And this virtual nurse monitor between the doctor visit. A doctor after the visit, doctor will say come after a month. Till that time you check BP, till that time do this, do that, pain check, all these things. So everything will be done by the virtual nurse monitor between your visit. And this is you have seen so many people are wearing the watch kind, the wearable watch kind to know the pulse, BP, all these things. So everywhere it is you are traceable. And this is very important thing, Internet of Things and Internet of Medical Things. The whole thing runs in this only. According to this industry estimate, the medical and wearable devices will reach $94 billion. So this is a very big industry, and the whole thing is behind this, the market is there. And another app is there. This app will talk to you. What is your problem? Headache. Mild headache or so big headache? Or you have vomiting? Or anything else? No. Okay. Then you take this tablet. The app will tell, do this at your home itself. Then after some time, the app will say, okay, now this is too much. Now this is the time for you to go to the doctor. That also that will tell. Okay. So this drug creation. So this is very important. I'm sorry it is going up. Recently it happened. Ebola is a disease which will kill 50% of the patient, which is a maximum lethal disease. So what happened when the Ebola came? Already there are so many drugs in the market. So they have approached the AI technology, and they just tested with the available drugs right now, already available drugs. Is there any possibility of using that same drug for that? So you won't believe. If there is no AI, such research will take at least few years, 1 or 2 years. But they gave in 1 day. The program found 2 medications that may reduce the Ebola infectivity. That identification of the 2 drugs was done in a day, and that is the biggest advantage, and that saved many lives in Africa. Okay, so precision of medicine, that is very important, and that we are going to deal it separately. And this is even this ultrasound machine. The greatest advantage of ultrasound machine is it can be used in a cell phone. You might have seen ultrasound machine, very big ultrasound. It is available in a cell phone. But unfortunately, in India, we have a problem, that sex identification. And that is why the government of India is not allowing. Okay, one of our friend from a hill station, his wife is there in the defense wala, army wala. She's pregnant, she's bleeding. But just to know whether the baby is fine or not, we have to shift in the army jeep 8 hours journey. Imagine what will happen to the baby. So we have technology, but we are not allowed to use. So just having the technology alone doesn't matter. We must see who is using, who is not allowing us to use that also. Okay, this ICU is totally taken over by this one, and records, that is very important. Yeah, and this is the healthcare system analysis. So the big hospital is there, we appoint HR, this, that, to say whether everything is fine, is there any filtration, is there any money is getting drifted somewhere, or everything is now done with the machines. They will identify is there any problem, unnecessary hospitalization, everything they are doing it online only. So the job design also it changes. Yesterday we were discussing it. There is a problem with the job. We are going to lose certain jobs, there is no doubt in that, especially with the pathology, radiology, cardiology, where you have a repetitive works, where you are dealing with the images, there is a definite job loss. And this is a different kind of taking over. Administration means administration is taken over, patient engagement is taken over by AI. So there the jobs are getting reduced. So this robotics is very, you know what is robot, how it is being replaced. It looks like human in some places, it may be looking like machine in some places. Yeah. So it is easy, quick to train, cheaper to train, easier to fuel and easier to repair, less prone for old jobs, and they can help elderly, chronically ill patients. So it is very important. It is an emerging sub-discipline, and now the cost has come down. It is helping in surgery, procedure, treatment, everywhere it is helping. And this simulation. And the last point is simulation, and this is you can explain very well, and gaining. What is simulation means, it as a gynecologist, it is very useful for us. Even educated persons, they don't know how the delivery is happening. One patient is telling the baby will come out of umbilicus only, no, like that. Very sorry to say that she was an advocate. Then I had heart attack on that day. Okay, so this is the situation. Now we are using AI to show that in a simulated model. And they are gaining. So types of robots, so drug discovery, pharmaceutical manufacturing, surgical, everywhere, therapeutics, autonomous mobile robots, social robots, everything it is being done. And social robot, Jerome has not come today. And the cost is also in lakhs only. You just see who has introduced this. This is Uttar Pradesh. Uttar Pradesh. So Uttar Pradesh has introduced new AI clinic at UP Government Hospital. This is primary health center also, in cancer treatment also they are introducing, and they are introducing in Mahakumbha Mela also. And it has got a reason why Tamil Nadu is progressive state. Tamil Nadu is yet to introduce this kind of thing in public health system, but UP is doing it, and at least started doing it with the 350 crores. See, this is also Uttar Pradesh for primary health center, and this 350 crore project in 20 centers, and it is mainly done to replace human labor because it is cost effective. Just 12 lakhs only. Once if you buy one robot, that's all. There is no maternity leave, no earned leave for the doctor, so it will only treat. So it is very cost effective. And robotic surgery, you can sit in one place, operate in another continent, and that is the level of robotic telesurgeries are going on. And it has got a great small scar, less blood loss, less blind. And now the patients are asking that I want to undergo surgery through robot. And we used to say, being a gynecologist, we have delivery only most of the time we do delivery through vagina or cesarean section. So we used to say that mother-in-law is undergoing gallbladder removal surgery by laparoscopy. the daughter-in-law says, I also want to undergo cesarean section by laparoscopy. Like that, they will say, like that we used to comment like as a joke, but now people are asking for robot. Only where is the, can you do a robotic surgery like that? That is a place. So the hospitals are dispensing medicine. This is anytime medicine. Kerala is deploying for COVID-19. This is the capsule size robot, which is very easy to swallow. This is the robot capsule. Somebody wants to become gastro. Easy to swallow that robot as a capsule. It will go in and take pictures and it will find out what is the problem in the gastrointestinal tract. Our GIT, our digestive tract is 6 meters length. So it will travel that 6 meter length and it will come out. And this is a child-friendly robot because the children will be afraid of doctor, white coat, so like that. And this is another robot with a two-way camera and Skype, so that the person will be taken care and it can be monitored by the kids who are working outside the country even. So this is very expensive. People are used to say like that. And now we have appointed few homeless for our great leader, Comrade Nallakattu is admitted. He is 101 year and it is 2,500 rupees per day we are giving for this. So just giving my help. So it's very costly. And this robot is doing everything. It is reading Ramayana to the elderly person. It is playing cards to the elderly person. It is checking the BP. It is just giving tablet. Everything it is doing. So it is very cost effective. And this nurses also they are doing it. Nursing assistant and then hospital. Everything is this one. And this is very important. Unable to carry. We may have 1 or 2 person, we may even appoint somebody, but it's very difficult. If they are obese also, it's difficult to carry. Even otherwise also, it's difficult to carry. So this is even 200 kg patient it will carry. And this is the paralytic patients are made to stand, run, walk also. And this is the spoon feeding. Especially for Parkinsonism or elderly people, their hands are shaky. So for them, the spoon feeding is very important. And this is microbot. This is smaller than the capsule, which is used to give drugs to the eyes. Such a this one. And this is the doctor going to too many places in a day. And this is the mobile robot collecting the urine sample, stool sample, feces sample from one place to another from home. This is the movie in Tamil and it is available. It has been in Google Kuttappa. It has been in all languages also. Telugu, Malayalam, Hindi, you can see it. It's a very good movie. And okay, the 3D printing and even few hospitals have started doing this 3D printing in organs. Many people would say, I am unable to get the kidney donor. Can you prepare kidney with the 3D printing like that? So we are almost nearing to that situation, that organ formation and bioprinting. This organoids with the printer, whatever we want we can do. And this is the model which we use. See how bad the face was and how it was changed with the bioprinting model. And that much we are working. These things are already started. We are doing already this, especially the face. And then this is prepared in. This is the made of metal, like a scalp. The road traffic accidents, the whole brain scalp was injured. So with the steel, they have prepared this kind of a model for head. So this is easy to 3D model, and this 3D printing is very useful. We can prepare for a particular person whatever they need, and it can be done in a very fast manner. Of course, it has got very few disadvantages. Most important disadvantage is whatever you want, you can print it out. You can even print an AK-47. Whatever you that is the technology is dangerous, and it is very costly also, and it is involving plastic, and most importantly, this invention it may be dangerous. We can even see few Hollywood movies in that. And this is our medical students have come. The robot has started writing NEET examination also, and it is clearing the examination better than us. So the radiologists, pathologists are going to lose their jobs. And And you know, pathologists, they used to see the microscope and study. Now that is not there. Now the beautiful cameras have come. So every slides are being photographed and it is given like this big digital thing. People are sitting around, say at home, eating thing and then watching like that. And now that is being done by AI. So, and then this human experience with machine and all, they both together, especially with the mental health, we need to have some empathy. If a phone call is coming for a suicide prevention center and I want to commit suicide, okay, commit suicide, like that you cannot talk. So the person should say, what is the problem? Everybody is having this problem. Don't worry, it will go. It is all crossing cloud. All these things it should be told. And we are training the robots to say that also. And that is why this mental health is becoming important. It has prevented many suicides also. Another thing is nanomedicine. It is acting at a cellular level, and that is going to take over the treatment aspect because it is non-invasive tool. It is used in diagnosis and also in the treatment, and that much it is important. And then people are interested in going to robotic surgery, but when it comes to consultation, they want to only see the doctor. They don't want surgery. Maybe robot they want, but consultation they want most of the patients with the doctors in person only. Okay, so they want comfort, all these things. And now there is a definite need for changing our hospitals, what you see now in different parts of the world, to smart hospitals. So the students must understand, after completing the course, we can go and sit in a place with a 10 by 10 room and start practicing. Everybody will say, no, you are what? You are doctor. After completion, you can sit in a place and learn. Nothing doing, because there is people are expecting our hospitals to change into smart hospitals. And because of this technology, people are misusing it. Internet derived information obstruction treatment, that is idiot syndrome, and everything they see, people say as a third year syndrome. When I am doing a third year MBBS, whatever I read, I feel that I have that. If I read leukemia, okay, see, everything is there. I may be suffering from leukemia like that, blood cancer like that. So now many people are watching internet and calling the doctor, I have this symptom, I have got like vomiting sensation, do I have stomach cancer? Like that they will ask. For one day vomiting. So that is the problem. Yeah, this happened a few days before in Chennai, in Tamil Nadu. Young woman dies after following YouTube weight loss remedy. She has taken boric acid. She ingested that. So this job loss we have already discussed, and there is no empathy in this process. Though everything is done in a good manner, faster manner, accurate manner, but we definitely lack empathy, and most importantly, ethical consideration. Simply we cannot do this printing, 3D printing, all these things. There is definitely ethical problem is there. And then the workforce, repetitive jobs will go, and new work also will come, because we have to deal with the whole data. And this one, yesterday, and all these things we discussed about it. And then Dr. Sajid also said, we need to acclimatize. I cannot say that I will not use computer and type and give the typed prescription to the patient. I don't know. I said they were not interested in use that is leaving the chalk, board and chalk. I'm used to that chalk piece only, board only. Like that, I will only write the prescription. I don't know to type. I will not use computer. All these things you cannot say, and you have to get acclimatized to the new situation. There's no doubt in that. And you need to learn. I don't know a computer. I don't know computer. I don't know this. I will not learn. All these things you cannot say. You have to learn. And second thing, you need to unlearn also. See, our radiology professor were doing ultrasound. Now CT there, CT now MRI, now PET scan. So the radiologist, even whether it's 50 years, 60 years, you have to learn and unlearn one practice and relearn another new practice. That is very important. Learning is important, unlearning is important. You have to forget one thing, you have to leave one thing and do another thing. And reskilling, upskilling is important, and that flexibility and adaptability should be there. And there's no point in just crying or feeling bad, all these things. And in the COVID time, it was very useful. In the COVID time, all are supposed to use mask. AI was used easily. They were not for police. You cannot have police everywhere whether people are using mask or not. So the artificial intelligence were used. And then most importantly, first point is very important. The COVID vaccine developed in a very short time. Everybody felt, even a few scientists, for polio vaccine it took 10 years. For dengue there is no vaccine because the mankind is struggling, scientists are struggling even 2-3 decades to find a vaccine for dengue. Yet we are unable to find a vaccine. Similarly, we are struggling hard to find a good vaccine for tuberculosis. We are unable to find. But in a short time, how can you find a vaccine for COVID? That was a thing. But luckily, the raw material, the virus sample was shared by China. That is a base to start the vaccine. Usually, that will not be shared. So that the first point is the China has shared the virus sample, and second is the whole world, different scientists use a different kind of AI technology, data assessment that cut short the time. So Anil Rajimala will say quantum is how the quantum computers, the speed at which it works, and that was the reason for the mankind to get the COVID vaccine in a very short time, and that is the boon what we have. And that, but this is the last slide. If the technology is used for the people, it is really good. If it is used for the benefit of the corporate, it is not going to help anyway. And that is it. The AI can not only ensure the patient engagement and adherence, but also empower the patient. It helps the mankind. It helps the mankind to take the health and survival and longevity to the next level. Now we are living around 70 to 80. Now 80 is not a big thing. It may go 100 also with the repent of this one, but it should be used, it's a double-edged sword, it should be used by the right person for right purpose, most importantly for the betterment of the mankind. Then only it will be really useful. This is real boon in that way. Thank you for the opportunity.
Ma'am from Hyderabad.
Hyderabad.
Dr. Sajid, sir.
Good morning to everybody. And I am not that rocket speed oriented like Dr. Shanti, but I can speak slowly. This paradigm shifting and technology impact and severe. She has given a very good presentation. And actually, now I remember the book which I read in 1970s.
இந்த மைக் வச்சலாம் ஆடியோ தான் எக்கோ
Keep silence, no? Anybody is having any urgent work, anybody wants to talk over phone, kindly go out.
As a student in 1970s science fiction, where that one alien comes and kidnaps the planet one person, and then he was wondering what all they were doing, the aliens. All some 20, 30 languages were getting translated immediately. yes, this is reality. I don't know, I forgot the author. How he gets and write the story. Now, coming to this technology, actually, our pre-independence, we were having some self-independent colleges. But after independence, 1952, we had some 28 medical colleges in India, and you all know that the Boer Committee report 1946 laid the groundwork for a comprehensive health system emphasizing prevention and primary care. Which one, nowadays we have some 700 medical colleges in India, and which are some 330 in the private and some 380 medical colleges in government sector. But when we were having the previous colleges, previous hospitals, the access to the public health, people having the access to the government hospitals, and the cost of the treatment was very less. But now you can see, even medical college students, you know the fee structure. In government it is maybe some 50,000 to 5 lakhs. But at the same time you see that 5 lakhs to 5 crores in private medical colleges. I have seen the students who are paying there. So this is the shift of technology, not only that, PPP, privatizing the education. Then next comes to our the infrastructure. From rural roads to skyscrapers, we have gone through that much. However, the programs face challenges of health system, capacity, capability, and governance in several parts of the country. More coordination and coherence in healthcare delivery systems and design between central and state level institutions is one of the urgent necessities to make healthcare for all an affordable proposition. Now, corporate rights. Corporate, it is a big change in our health system. If you see, state-wise, in Andhra Pradesh, our Chandrababu Naidu, some 20-30 years back, he said, there is no communism, socialism, there is only tourism. And that is what we are seeing now. Medical tourism has become very high level in our country. And the government is giving also the importance for the medical tourism. What is happening through medical tourism also, I will give you some examples. Then comes the now we appreciate, we welcome the AI diagnostics and the genomics, but they are mostly concentrated in urban hubs, leaving a huge tertiary care gap in rural India. That all we know what is happening now in rural India public health. And government, initially we used to have one primary health center for 30,000 population. But now we have 30,000 primary health centers which are also not enough to our public health care. And our COVID has given a good lesson that what is the importance of family physicians in our country. WHO is also emphasizing about family physicians to have in the rural areas to improve our health. This partnership, this PPP model, it's as especially Dr. Raju said, a double-edged sword it is. So we have to think of this. In theory, the above model was introduced to act as a bridge between the government sector and private sector's alleged efficiency. But there there are certain benefits like advanced diagnostic centers like CT, MRI, dialysis centers established by private players in the government hospitals and provision of emergency ambulance services, etc. Definitely they have a trickle-down effect on the rural healthcare scenario. However, the major consequences of such a model is the creeping privatizing of the public health and the unbearable cost escalation for the common man. Example, that's what we are telling. Recently, we have seen in a private, very famous, as we are all saying, robotic surgeries, such an institute, a private institute in Telangana, Hyderabad, who are doing robotic surgeries out of continent also. But the exploitation you have to see there. Exploitation you have to there. There comes a patient which costs meropenem. Even drug mafia I have to mention here. Meropenem injection is some 700 rupees, which in hospital they have billed 4,780 rupees per one meropenem injection. But here comes again the awareness among the people. The patient went to the court and as a consumer court, he filed a case. Then still the hospital was defending themselves, but the judge, he did the analysis and he told, this costs 700. Why did you cost 4,780 rupees? They fined them some 4 lakhs rupees. This is all happening. We are good for it here, we are not saying anything. But the people awareness here is very important. Implications and out-of-pocket money that we all know since many years, 20 years we are all knowing the farmers who committed suicides because of this high cost and going to private corporate hospitals. How much they have to pay, they are not able to pay, they are selling their lands, they are selling their all these things, and out-of-pocket money is really a problem. And to reduce that, what we are doing, out-of-pocket money to reduce at least to 10%, we have to reduce, as we presented here, diagnostics, everything is good, they are accurate, they are good, but all these things, for whom it is? I am telling you, Shanti, we charge maybe 50,000 for hysterectomy. The same thing, robotics, laparoscopic, they charge 3 lakhs. Now robotic, they are saying 7 lakhs. Is it affordable for everybody? This is what we are asking. Where the countries who can have high economic source are, I have seen socialist system where everything was available for everybody, which is not available in these countries like undeveloped countries, developing countries. This high technology is very economical. It's not economical. We have to see this one. Then other thing about the doctors. This, what is that? Ayushman Bharat. it has come, Abha. They want that everywhere this patient's personal records should be there in the records. So who are supplying the people to upload the records? We have seen again in Andhra, I spoke to one professor, they are really sweating, not only sweating, they are under stress. PG students especially, they don't provide database or digital computer, they have to feed everything, their officers, they are not providing. So what is happening? The central government is giving everywhere. The data has come already 98%, 80% is countrywide is database digitalized. Is it true? Is it true? You go on National Medical College PGs or doctors, what is happening? There is no entry officer, but They are asking PGs, you have to bring the statistics till 90%. All wrong statistics they have to give. Even medication I am seeing, doctors, PGs, they have to take the PG prescriptions and feed in the computer means what is happening there. See, daily some 400 patients to feed in one PG, it's not possible. It is really difficult for them. Though they are doing there, the errors are there. Medicines prescriptions are getting errors. So this is also there. We have to see the consequences of these problems. And then use of use of AI in medical education, research, diagnosis and treatment. This we are welcome. It is really empowering. But AI can mine data made available to it efficiently, but one should bear in mind the old dictum, garbage in, garbage out. Why? Works in AI too without exception. AI has the potential to improve operational efficiency in healthcare organizations. For example, AI-powered systems can automate administrative tasks, freeing healthcare professionals time to focus on direct patient care. Additionally, AI can assist in detecting and preventing chronic conditions, identifying risk factors, and suggesting proactive interventions. By catching diseases at any early stage, AI can help reduce the burden on healthcare systems and the associated costs. But as I said, the consequences are also there. Challenges, concerns, and risks in using AI. Actually, this telemedicine, technology telemedicine, I have to remember and our founder, Dr. Sanjay Biswas, he asked me and Dr. Vijay Kumar also here, he asked us to have that telemedicine and then we will start the project making through ICMR. Unfortunately, that project we started to reach the rural areas and the tribal areas. Unfortunately, we died and then we couldn't complete that project. But I am now very happy that this project, government is taking telemedicine project, that which is really helping. But the same time, we are not training properly the people there, or PHC or anywhere. The wrong medication is going. We have seen recently also that telemedicine, even IT people they are creating hubs like telemedicine hubs for them. But the doctors are available. Are they giving proper medicine? They are taking the medicine right. I mean, nowadays AMR, antimicrobial resistance is there. A patient says, I am having cough, I am having fever, then the doctors are giving us a very high medication through the telemedicine. Maybe they are, I don't say doctors are not aware, but they should also concentrate the medicines which they are giving. There are also WACs, RMPs who are also giving this, who are also using the telemedicine, which government is also emphasizing that they should also get involved. That also we have to think of that. And then here comes that. One more thing is, some major concerns regarding usage of AI in critical areas like in healthcare systems are plagiarism, over-reliance on AI, decline of scholarship, etc. Theoretically, even when AI can detect plagiarism and maintain academic integrity, there is always a risk. The people may attempt to exploit AI systems to plagiarize without detection. While AI can enhance decision making and efficiency, it is vital to maintain human oversight in critical areas, ensuring that AI systems complement and assist human judgment rather than completely replacing it. Excessive reliance on AI may inadequately discourage critical thinking and intellectual engagement. Models trained on limited data sets produce skewed predictions. This is what I mean. So many people nowadays, students, they ask ChatGPT and AI, get their project notes. And they say that that is their project. And the same thing also, many things happen in the institutions. We students as research scholars, they do everything and research paper presentation, but some people take it from AI, what they say is mine. This is the plagiarism what can be done in the through AI. And my recommendations, so many are there. You are having my paper also in the book. To fulfill the dreams of universal health coverage, on one hand, the public sector needs to be stimulated to be more responsive by enhancing capacity and efficiency, and on the other hand, to ensure that the private sector behave more responsibly, and the voluntary sector must become more resourceful by building a model of partnered public health and community connected clinical care, and investment in a national multi-skilled health workforce for a customized public health and clinical services with a fair distribution across all districts and urban rural settings is an urgent requirement. Much of primary health care can be taken care by family physicians and technology-enabled non-physician health providers. This will reduce referral load for secondary and tertiary care centers. And we all know also, after our freedom, we learned that the primary health care, secondary health care, tertiary health care. This tertiary health care is mostly in private sector, which government have to improve the infrastructure and bring that kind of technological treatments in government hospitals. About the insurance system, I think next paper our Dr. Shanti may explain the insurance system. This one, full public procurement of essential medicines and vaccines with free distribution in public health care facilities should be the norm to begin with. Such facilities need to provide essential diagnostic services also free of cost. Here the AI can, regarding the pharmacy, you all know, the pharmaceuticals mafia has come like anything. We used to have, central government used to have, I think still in Tamil Nadu there is that IDPL, but all over India they have removed the IDPL, and now we don't know what is the quality of medicine. Now generic medicines have come, and the generic medicines, there is also generic medicine. Recently I got from our area hospital patients, Modi medicines have come. But at the same time, after 3 months using their medicines, their hypertension was not reduced. They came again, Modi medicines, but they are not working for us. So what is the quality control? Where is the quality control of drug? So that also must be there, drug control must be there, even the cost price, that should be there. So we need a governance which is taking care, because this American healthcare, and you see the British healthcare, the difference. Now we are taking all, I'm sorry to say this, even all the private care hospitals, doctors, even in our government hospitals, doctors, they are taking the example of American healthcare. So I conclude this summing up, we see that India's healthcare journey has been a transition from scarcity to complexity, where the country has more doctors and better technology than ever before. One thing I forgot to tell, you all know now through NEET, so many medical colleges. Now in Andhra Pradesh, government has started previous one, 70 medical colleges in Andhra Pradesh. But there comes now the government wanted to privatize all the 17 medical colleges. That is the problem where we are going to face. I want to conclude saying health has been accepted as a best human right throughout the world by the WHO and constitution of various countries. Without the good health of the citizens, no country can develop. Let us all unite to achieve this noble task. I would like to end this with John Lennon's words. You may say I am a dreamer, but I am not the only one. I hope someday you will join us and the world will be as one. My eyes are moist with the tears of all eyes. The pain of all hearts is mine.
Thank you, Dr. Rajani.
I welcome Dr. Sajid oncologist from Trivandrum, to speak next.
Good morning. I will make my points very clear. The first thing, I don't take too much time also. The first thing which is most important in medicine is prevention. And I am proud that yesterday I noticed a junior MBBS student, life mission is to have preventive medicine. That is the most important. While doing MBBS days, I always believe that MBBS days, giving a medicine or a pill is the remedy for, is a finest remedy. But it took some 4 or 5 years to reach the final year where we study social and preventive medicine to know how important preventive medicine is. So that part is being neglected in this era, and so that should be emphasized. All good politics, we have good health. Good politics, you have good health. Except from oncology part, there is a something which is called, in socialist countries, they were given free food, free water, and all, first basic facilities. So the life long. When life belongs, cancer oncology increases, cancer increases, because it is a geriatric disease. So these socialist countries, they were having plenty of oncology cases, even though they did not spend much on health, but the basic all needs, basic needs were met. That is something which good politics reflect on health. That's an example. Now coming to the modern things, already there is artificial life being created. You can, our youngsters can search for Craig Venter. He is the first man who created artificial life with a computer as the person producing that replicating our organism. And that is published in May 2010, journal Science. Craig Venter. Now that is a place where we are at present standing. And now coming to the hospital scenario, foreign direct investment, that is being given a good opportunity in India. And I have seen plenty of private hospitals being engulfed by money from Singapore, Canada, Malaysia, like countries which have to invest in that particular hospital, and they buy all smaller hospitals in the surroundings. And the importance, what is happening to a common man is that we used to get the treatment from small hospitals. We used to sit there, we used to talk to the doctor and all, and we used all the data to the doctor there. But now what is happening is these small hospitals are being taken away by big hospitals which have a motive with money that is being deposited from foreign direct investment. This foreign direct investment, this comes only for profit based. And they have a target like one, they want the data. And Indian people, our data is being simply stolen by these people because we don't have much governance, we don't have any checkpoints. So it is a free access source for this enormous data with which they can do plenty of trials, they can do plenty of medicine developments. To develop a medicine, to have a trial, the most important thing is to have data about the particular people. But once the data is in a particular person's hand, they can easily manipulate with artificial intelligence or something, and they can create medicines within seconds or within days, and they can easily sell it to you also for their money. So the basic thing is we are being utilized for this particular foreign direct investment money. They make the profit, we will suffer. And another thing which is going to happen is there are three sectors of institutions. One is government, second is public-private partnership, third is corporate. You can't do much with corporate sector because they are with robots, they are with robotic surgery, and they will search for indications for robotic surgery. We in our government hospital, we have robotic surgery, but we use it selectively so that in particular case only you go for robotic surgery. But in other corporate sector, you search for indications by which you can do a robotic surgery. And the cost difference is so huge, and the patient suffering, that also, the family suffering also, you can imagine. And what is so problematic with the government colleges or government institutions are not there in health. It's very simple. There won't be any gold standard by which you can control the private corporate sector. And a slow process that is taking place in India is from corporate it is there, and government is there. There's something which is coming in between, that is public-private partnership. And this public-private partnership in Kerala, I have seen two medical colleges where these private people took on to the government, but it is almost some 2 decades. These people who have entered the campus will never leave campus, and they will capitalize all the money and all. And slowly these government hospitals will go to a private sector line, and we will miss all the gold standards. And what is happening with the, for example, we give all the data, and after that trials medicine they will do it, and it is a time of threat. For example, the biological warfare can happen, and at that time the person who knows you best can create a disease with a particular medicine only in my head, and you will be susceptible to that particular disease because I know your genetic structure, I know what mutation you have, because all the data is in me, and I will give you a particular disease for which the only medicine will be with me, and again I get all the monopoly. This you can think of an example like COVID or some modification of that, and you can imagine. And disease is all man-made. Disease is all man-made. It is politics. I would say in oncology part, it is 100% politics. Because in lung cancer, commonest it is in China because they smoke, and the government makes enough and more money from this tobacco. In India, you come, it is not carcinoma lung, but it is buccal mucosa. People from Europe travel, the doctors will travel to come to learn this buccal mucosa oral cancer in India because we don't smoke, we just keep it in our mouth, chew. And if you go to some European countries, you will get, if you go to Japan, you see stomach, carcinoma stomach. The politics seems to them to have carcinoma stomach. In Australia, you will have melanoma. The politics is in such a lane that you will get there. In Europe, you will have colorectal malignancy. The politics is in such a lane. In Mali, African country, you will have hepatitis, hepatoma, liver cancer, because they don't have hepatitis B vaccine, which can prevent this particular disease. In Brazil, you go, there will be plenty of ladies with the carcinoma cervix, because they are not interested in that HPV vaccine, and they have plenty of cases with the carcinoma cervix. You travel talk to US, they'll have prostate something because they live long. So it is all politically made diseases, and to have good politics, we say great move, and which happens only when in some countries it's rare. But in Kerala, I will set an example by I am concluded also, and we have good health as all other states say, because we have got a good median survival which is prolonged. We got it just because of good rationing, good sanitation, good water, good food, literacy, education, and that is why at the time of independence itself our survival was 47, when other states' survival was just maybe 30 something like that. And at present we pay heavily out of pocket expenditure is very high, and with the insurance-based scheme that happened in India, with the insurance-based health system that happened in India, when the central gives us 100 crore, our state has to shell out 1,000 crore to have good citizen health, and that is an impact of the budgetary health system to insurance-based health system. And so I think I made my points here. Medicine prevention part, it is good politics part which gives universal health coverage, and then foreign direct investment. I told about the particular points and what is the advantage. I mentioned about robotic surgery, and the final point would be the Craig vendor. And he was chucked out of the hospital, and he started a Craig vendor institute itself. And the final point in that particular, I still remember that article. The final sentence was that I know that I have created artificial life, but the most important thing is that I am afraid how it will be used. The ethical part, the cultural part, all that continues to walk my mind. That is the final words of that particular article. And with this final words, I thank you for the opportunity.
I want to say one regarding that vaccines. When Dr. Shanti said, vaccines development, it took a lot of time, lot of years long it took. But what is the consequences during this COVID vaccine? Now we have seen our practice. So many gynecologists said, after taking the vaccine, there is irregular bleeding, there is irregularities in the women, they have the problem. And now NIMS Institute, they are doing the research why the youngsters are getting the heart attacks in this young age, and they say that enzyme is playing a role. So now that research has to come out of this vaccine, and vaccines should be very accurate, thorough research and everything to prevent. Vaccine has come, that is good, but that should be modified. That vaccine should be again re-researched and bring to the people.
இந்த சேர் ஃபுல்லாவே மேல உட்கார்லல சோ அப்படியே போட்டோ எடுக்கலாம் அது மாதிரி இல்ல ரஜினி கம்ப்ளீட் பண்ணட்டும்.
Thank you, sir. Let me welcome Dr. Venkatesh, sir, nephrologist, state president of AIPF, to give this presentation.
Comrades, friends, brothers, sisters, and peers, and medical students, I welcome you all to Chennai and for enjoying this wonderful seminar on technological disruptions. The title of this particular seminar is particularly relevant for our time. Now, what we are talking is in terms of paradigm shift in technology.
Okay.
Now, what is the paradigm shift in technology that we are all talking about today? So, if you say, I'll give you an example. So, in one of the what Dr. Sajid was talking about, at Kerala, right? In Kerala, there was one of my friends got stuck in a resort. Now, what happened to him in this resort is he developed chest pain. He had no access. He went to it was around 10 o'clock in the night. He had to reach to a nearby private facility. There were no government facilities available at that time in that hilly terrain. And fortunately for him, he had a nurse who could take an ECG. But he was from a different specialty and he had difficulty in interpreting that ECG. All he did was he took took a photograph of that ECG, sent it via WhatsApp to me. So the moment I looked at it, I said, he's got an heart attack and you need to be transported immediately to another place. Now again, technology came to the assistance. We immediately were able to organize a cardiologist, an internal medicine specialist, an ambulance, everything all through the phone and all through the WhatsApp communication. And within a matter of 2 hours, he was saved from his myocardial infarction or heart attack, and is quite well now. Now, this same technology is used in small peripheral sectors. For example, an MBBS doctor who is unable to read an ECG can take a photograph, send it to a cardiologist who is in the nodal center, who can read it and give him assistance so that the patient can be safely transported. This is happening in Tamil Nadu. Now, this is technology which is acting at a very fundamental level in an organic way. There is no coercion. The government did not tell, the Tamil Nadu government did not tell these doctors, you can use WhatsApp, you can use this kind of an arrangement. The technology was available, it was organically utilized by the people in order to help themselves. Now, this is the distinction I want to draw. Technology is not forced on you. Technology has to be adopted by the people, understanding why it is relevant to their lives. But rather, when you are making technology for profit, and you are for profit maximization, if the person who is going to handle the technology, if that person happens to be a corporate, if that person happens to be a capitalist, the goal and the purpose of such technology is to drive profit maximization. People damn it. They don't even, fundamentally, they don't care about what you are. So with that context, I would like to talk about the most important technology of today, which is causing a paradigm shift. Now, what is this paradigm shift? What's the difference between using WhatsApp and the so-called artificial intelligence today? Artificial intelligence today is happening at a much faster pace. It's broader, it has got great depth, it is going to influence every sphere of our human activity, our politics, our lives, our lived experience on day to day, the way that our future science is going to develop, everything is going to get affected by artificial intelligence. That's why we talk, if the word paradigm shift is going to be used, artificial intelligence beautifully fits into that. It is causing a great technological disruption, and this disruption is happening at a much faster pace. And as Dr. Shanti beautifully demonstrated the various utility of different kinds of technology, I'm going to focus my attention only on this paradigm shift in technology, namely artificial intelligence. For the medical students, I will talk about fully why and how this has become useful in medicine. And my specialty being nephrology, I'll give you examples from nephrology. And then we'll move on to see how this paradigm shift is affecting the medical sector, the service sector, and what kind of long-term consequences it has got for the planet as a whole, the people as a whole. So at the outset, I would like to thank one of my colleagues, Dr. Ravi Tadani from Boston, Master General. And most of this talk has been taken from this excellent book, which I would recommend everyone to go through. Empire of AI, Dreams and Nightmares, Sam Altman's OpenAI. Most of you must have heard about Sam Altman. He's one of the pioneer capitalists who's involved in developing OpenAI. Okay, Dr. Sajid was briefly telling you, data. Now data is the new oil, and we know what's happening because of oil. And you know this Rotten Plump, I call him Rotten Plump, not Donald Trump. And what he has been trying to do, this gentleman, or rather a bully, he has been trying to get into another sovereign country for what? For oil. Yes. And that's exactly what the new problem is. Now data is the new oil. People are going after data. That's what Dr. Sajid was talking about. Your data is not anymore. You are the data. You are the data. Who are you? Where do you live? What do you do? What kind of illness do you have? Where do you visit? Whom do you meet? Whom do you fall in love with? What kind of country you live in? How many children do you have? This is the data that people are after. And who are these people who are after? These AI companies. They are after this data. And most of us have already given our data freely. to Facebook, to Meta, to WhatsApp, to so many other, moguls who are involved in accumulating this data. We have already become a surveillance society. I don't know how many of you have read this book, 1984, by George Orwell. So we call it as an Orwellian nightmare, and that's what is really unfolding right in front of us. And AI is accelerating it at a much faster pace. So the new data is oil, and certainly you can also see that AI can be used for understanding animal behavior. It can be used for understanding sports, to predict outcomes in sports. It can be used in the use of predicting earthquake. So technology, as Professor Yugal Roy yesterday spoke, it's a double-edged weapon. You can use it on the one hand for a useful information, where you can forewarn people about the occurrence of earthquake and then probably ship them to a safe place. At the same time, you can also use it for an entirely different purpose, and I'll be talking more about this purpose. So, this is a dialysis providing company. Me and Dr. Rajini, we were discussing about this public-private partnership. This is a purely corporatized dialysis provider in the United States. It provides dialysis all across the globe. It's one of the largest dialysis providing company. It's called the Fresenius Medical Care. Now look at the amount of data they are accumulating in one location. This is from Boston. In the Boston area itself, they are accumulating data close to 1.9 lakhs or 1 million people. So many data points across number of patients, treatment of dialysis, their lab data, the kind of diseases they have, the in-center, what kind of medications being provided, what kind of home medications are they taking, where will they get these medicines from, who's the commonest brand which are being provided to them. All this kind of data is held by one company in one location in Boston. And look at the quantum of data. And that's mind-boggling. And if you kind of look at it, the rate of growth of this data collection from the year for every financial year from 2010 onwards to 2019, the data collected by this one company alone is about 9 petabytes, which is a huge quantum of information which they are accumulating. So data is the new oil. And why they are doing this? So the reason why they are doing, I'm not getting into, the people have been talking about this a lot. This kind of data can be tailor-made to understand, to deliver services to you. That is the claim they make. The claim is, I will be more personalized in giving you a personalized medicine. I'll be more personalized in taking care of you. I understand you better. I understand your needs better. And I will provide you care like that. But that's not the purpose. The purpose is how better they can do profit maximization. How better they can sell you their stuff. And that's the most important key why Fresenius Medical Center is doing. In fact, they over here, I'll give you an example. There are 3 or 4 patients in a dialysis unit. They have become a family. Because these dialysis patients go together and they stay together and they do dialysis for many years together. So they become friends, they become family friends, and they all become, they extend their warmth towards each other. Now this company looks at the data. What data it is, who are the people who are visiting the center? Who are the people who are sitting together? And when one of the patients was suddenly gave the opportunity, had the opportunity to undergo kidney transplant, which is a life-saving procedure which gives freedom from dialysis, they kind of targeted her, and their counselors went to her and said, oh, you are going to leave your family, he said, your dialysis family, you are going to leave. If you undergo transplant, you will not be, you will miss all your friends. Because she was in double mind whether to do the transplant or whether to leave dialysis. Because she got so accustomed to dialysis that she no longer wanted to be here. She doesn't want to get a transplant. Now, this company could target her, influence her decision, because for them, doing dialysis is profit. If the patient undergoes transplant, she no longer need to undergo dialysis. Now look at the granularity through which they are able to, how granularly they are able to get into your head, change your decision. So that kind of information technology is being utilized by a company for profit maximization. So that is why data is the new oil. Now this is for the medical students, the next couple of slides, it might be of good interest to you. So look at the explosion of publication in AI in medicine. It just took off, it's almost vertical takeoff. If you look at kidney, and I'm just probably, sorry for the kind of blurry slide, But the key point is the rapid increase in the volume and variety of data in healthcare is the current interest in the use of AI. It's kind of exploding. Even in India, there are a lot of AI research going on, and the amount of data that is being utilized is phenomenal. Now, this is a particular disease in which we are all interested in. Diabetes is common. India is the diabetic capital of the world. 30 to 40% of the people with the diabetes, they develop kidney problem. And you want to know more about that particular kidney problem, people are using AI models, to actually computational models, to predict what kind of kidney disease they're going to develop in due course of having diabetes. So, now, Madam was talking about jobs. Now, what happens with the AI and jobs? Do you think doctors are safe because of the advent of this new technology? And as I said, this disruption is happening at much faster. The rough estimate, recently the Journal of American Society of Physicians, they came out with a paper where they said that 40% of entry-level jobs across disciplines and service sectors in medicine will be gone in another 5 years. There is little time to adapt. So by 2030, we can expect 40% of medical jobs are going to go. Entry-level jobs, data operators, transcribers, these are service components. Now, you all know that hospitals are no longer hospitals these days. Hospitals are all becoming hospitality services. Alright? What do people expect? Hello sir, how are you sir? Please come sir, have a seat sir, have a coffee sir. What kind of treatment you are giving, what kind of scientific procedure you are following is now never given any due attention. What they are trying to do, they are trying to satisfy you. Rather than treat you and make you well, the goal is to satisfy you. And people love it, isn't it? When you go to a hotel and the people receive you very well, and you feel more back for the buck. On the other hand, the doctor is going to come and tell you the truth, the hard fact, you have a cancer. I know Dr. Sachin will be suffering a lot because prognosticating a patient with cancer is the most difficult thing on the planet. Making the family understand is one of the most difficult conversations that you're going to have. But that part of it is going to die slowly. And targeted services will be provided by misuse of AI information, by using AI chatbots, by using AI technology in a very creative way to target you, to give you hospitality services rather than hospital services. So the breadth and pace, this is what I'm trying to emphasize again and again. 2030 is not far off. We are sitting in 2026. It's another 4 or 5 years. The pace at which it is progressing is much faster. So, who are the people? On the one hand, we see there will be job losses. But who are the people who are likely? It is also going to create new jobs. It's also kind of create a new labor force for itself. So, the way that its capital advances is always the education is tuned by the capitalist to produce more labor. For the extraction of surplus, for the extraction of labor, it creates its own educational system. The educational system through capitalism is one of exploitation. It is designed to create a compliant, conforming, disciplined workforce for it to generate additional surplus and for profit maximization. But a socialist system, I don't know how many of you read Paulo Freire. Paulo Freire wrote a book called The Pedagogy of the Oppressed. And it's a very important book. I strongly recommend that age students, especially medical students, must read this book. It's called Pedagogy of the Oppressed. It clearly talks about the current education system. This education system is not for developing the human mind. It is not for giving you critical thinking. It's not for enabling you to attain your full potential. It is for making you into a tool, into a labor force, which is going to slave until its death to provide profit for the capitalists. So that is the whole argument. So education system itself tuned in such a way that people are being used. People are being used to make more money, make more dollars. Now, if you look at it, AI is going to accelerate this phenomenon in multiple ways. Now, these are the jobs that are going to survive. The doctor is still going to have his role, and because still doctors are important, doctors have to identify in what areas artificial intelligence could play a role, and still they have to come into contact with patients. And as Dr. Shanti pointed out, still the doctors are important because empathetic talking, hand-holding. I was talking to Madam Krishnaja. She was bemoaning the fact that there is no humanity in doctors. Doctors are not having stable conversation. They are not talking to patients in a polite way. They do not have empathy.
at all. Imagine if you're going to have a chatbot in that case. If this kind of situation exists now, tomorrow do you think a robot or an artificial chatbot is going to give you the same kind of empathy? In fact, there are cases in California where a chatbot actually misguided a young boy to commit suicide. And the decision to commit suicide. And after that, California has brought in regulations to say that artificial intelligence cannot be used in psychiatry. You can't use in mental health and psychological problems. You can never use artificial. This regulation was brought in California. So it is creating its own set of problems. So I'll skip all this. So this is another episode. What happened here is the data set upon which AI is trained is very, very important. That is why data is the new oil. Now what happened here? People died. A person in an automatic driven car, this car actually killed a bicycle. When a woman in a bicycle crossed the car, instead of braking, the car rammed into the person and killed it because the car did not identify the person on a cycle as an obstacle because the data which was fed to the car was incorrect. So as Dr. Ajit Madam said, garbage in, garbage out. You are going to train on a different set of data. What is going to come out is going to be garbage. So the machine was not able to identify a living, breathing person with a cycle as an obstacle. And in Ramdur, this is one of the early accidents that happened. Now there are cases where the AI is becoming self-aware within certain companies, especially OpenAI. And what has happened is it started blackmailing one of the programmers. Now the blackmail was for what? He said, I will shut you down. And the machine immediately, to protect itself, it started saying, you are having an affair with this woman, I have all access to your emails, I will forward to your wife. So it started blackmailing. Now this kind of self-awareness is also, the claim that was made was, the researchers were looking at it from a different perspective. They're trying to put pressure on the AI in order to understand what it's likely to do. But one of the responses was blackmailing. And as I said, it's a very dangerous proposition if you don't want to give them bad data. So reasons for unreliability and how to manage them. So they come out with certain kind of fixes for data management. If you look at it, we can do the prediction of algorithm, the data over which it is trained can all be cleaned. Who's going to do the cleaning job? So as I said, data is needed. You have a large amount of data, and if you go on the literature, if you go on the internet, and if you are a progressive person, and if you comment something on a Facebook page or something like that, what do you think will happen to you? You will be trolled by hundreds of idiots, right? There will be an expert who will be talking about something, but an idiot who reads, understands nothing will come and troll you. Racist comments, bigotry, casteism, all those kind of divisive hatred is spewed just like that. If you are going to train your AI on that kind of data, what's likely to be the outcome? You're not going to have, your experience with it is not going to be at all. So this is one of the important assumptions that we need to understand. It's kind of alienating people. The idea of Marxian alienation has to be revisited in a very different way. It is making an emotional disconnect between people. It is creating islands. You and me, we have already become lonely. No, the concept of nuclear family, the joint family system is dead. People no longer cohabit in a group. People all live alone. They live with one or two family members. And even among the family members, with the advent of the mobile phone, all the three are looking at Navagrahas, right? One is looking in one direction, the other one is looking in other direction. So it has disrupted familiar relationship. When that is happening, you can understand what is this AI targeted technology is likely to do to you. So this kind of granularity, when you are going to feed data which is going to spew hatred, what you are going to get out is going to be hatred and more divisive. And that's good. Is it good or bad? We all think it's bad, isn't it? It is not bad at all. It is certainly good. Good for whom? Good for whom? The guy who is interested in making money. It is good for him. In fact, now you have to understand, the AI is being used to take all this data into the cloud. Right? If you go to a marketplace, you meet a friend who's a vendor, is selling something, somebody produces something, he brings the product to the market, it gets distributed through the market, you go to the market, you can actually touch the product, you can talk to them, and you can touch them, you have a relationship with them, then you negotiate or haggle for a price. This is a market. But Amazon, is it a market? Amazon is not a market. Amazon is in the cloud. and the guy who owns Amazon is collecting a rent for it, right? So the market rent. So this kind of cloud capitalism will be accelerated by AI. So that is another big concern that we all have. So you go to the market, the whole relationship, we have to redefine means of production and productive relationship with this new perspective. Most of the world is ruled by the cloud now, and he who owns the cloud and the cloud space is a new capitalist. And he cannot be called a capitalist. Yanis Varoufakis, the former Greek finance minister, he uses the term techno-feudalism. It's a form of feudalism, rent-seeking behavior by the lords who own the cloud. So that is another thing that is getting accelerated through AI. Let's keep going back. So these are all stuff which Madam talked about in great detail. So okay, this is an idea which is very important. Intelligence is simply a function of computing power. It is not simply a function of computing power. Increasing computing speed and storage makes a better calculator, but not a better thinker. This was National Academy of Medicine 2018. Way back in 2018, epistemology, that is the study of knowledge itself, has to be transformed in the era of AI. So there are three people whom most of the youngsters might be familiar with. The three godfathers of AI. One is Jeffrey Hinton. Jeffrey Hinton won the Nobel Prize for AI. The second person is Jan Luca. Third person is Yuval Benicio. I want you to people remember this. These people were awarded the Nobel Prize for AI, for discovering the artificial neural networks. Now these individuals, now who have come out of their companies and they are speaking very much against developing AI now. These are the guys who are awarded the Nobel Prize. They are talking that AI should not be developed any further. I'm talking about Nobel laureates. I'm not talking about the company people. I'm talking about Nobel laureates. They are, if you go on the internet and look for the godfathers of AI and look at their podcasts and the way they talk about it, it's very frightening how the corruption is going to affect human life. Okay, AI is learning to escape human control. This looks like I gave you an example of how when AI started blackmailing. A lot of such instances are there, and a lot of journals are keep writing about it. Models disobeying commands, not science fiction anymore. That's the fact. So you have to be very careful. And what happens with AI? This one sentence by a person called Dennis Assadis, who was the Google OpenMind CEO. He said this in the recent World Economics Forum, which is ongoing in Davos. He said this: AI gives company a 99% cost reduction. So where are your jobs going to go? If everything is going to get automated, how are you going to live? Imagine the future of your 3-year-old, 5-year-old kid who's born now. What's going to happen to the current norm is you go to school, you go to college, you get an education, then you get a job, and once you get a job, then you get married, and then you have children, and your children get educated, and that's a cycle, isn't it, that we are all familiar with. Now with this kind of a scenario, if your jobs are all taken away, how people are going to survive? And you know what is the solution this AI capitalists are promoting? Universal basic income, right? They're saying that everybody will give some amount of money. And for what? Everybody given for some of money. Money is not the one that's defining human life. Human life is a lived experience. You don't want to be called somebody so and so. Your job cannot be your description. You're a living, breathing, sentient animal. And you need to live your life. And art is necessary. Humanities are necessary. Relationship with people are necessary. Socialization is necessary. That is what defines a human being. Art defines a human being more than anything else. It's not your job. So they are reducing human beings to that point. You're just another data point, and that data point, if it's going to provide you money or profits, you will exist in their radar. If it doesn't, they simply don't care. Okay, this is the most important aspect in this technology. What is most important here? These AI systems which are being developed, they need huge data systems, data centers, where their football field sized places are just taken away, where they are putting data centers, and these data centers are going to consume a large quantity of energy. And where does this energy come from? This energy comes from predominantly renewable sources and fossil fuels. So they are burning a lot of fossil fuel for producing energy, not for the community, for just running this data center to train their AI systems. I'm talking about the kind of energy consumption that these AI data systems are running is phenomenal. OpenAI, one of the largest AI company of the US, they say that for running one single data center, they need 6 times the amount of energy required to light California. So if you take the whole of California, and the amount of energy that is necessary for lighting up California is consumed by one data center by OpenAI. Then they got, and these guys are very smart. They are opening their data centers not in the United States. They are putting it in Latin America, they are putting it in Africa, they are putting it in all these poor, lesser developed countries because they want resources. And these data centers not only consume energy, they need fresh water, not just ordinary salt water or sea water or some drink. They need fresh water. Why do they need fresh water? Because the data centers generate huge amount of heat, and they have, for the systems to run, you need a lot of water, and fresh water is necessary for that. And there was in Chile, what happened in a place called San Diego in Chile. It was the Chile was under colonial rule for a very long time. Most of its resources, natural resources, especially water, was privatized. So Chilean people don't get water as a public resource. It is privatized. You have to pay for your water, which is the most pathetic thing that can ever happen to mankind. I cannot for the life of me understand why should I pay for water. And every time I see bottled water and I pay 10 rupees or 12 rupees, it hurts me. But we have no other choice. We have to be part of the system right now until a whole variety of youngsters like you start thinking about it in a very different way. Now in Chile, what they did, they stole their water, used that water to cool their data centers. Now the people of Chile, in San Diego, they realized we are getting a bad deal. And this was done by Google. We are getting a bad deal. They started protesting. They started organizing. A new form of protest started appearing, where these people started pouring drainage water, diverting drainage water into their open data centers by the people. And this protest became so huge. Google has to actually sit down and have a conversation with them, and they have struck a deal now. So the only place in Chile where water was not privatized was San Diego, where you can go and take water from a public utility, where it was free. This company stole it from them. Now you can imagine what other atrocities they are committing in all across the globe for exploitation of resources. And that is something which we all have to bear in mind. So I think with that one final comment. So Karen Hall, the lady, that journalist which I'm talking about, a Wall Street journalist who has written beautifully on several aspects, she calls the AI group or the AI capitalists themselves into two groups. One is called the boomer, the other one is called the doomer. The boomer is a person who hopes very confidently that AI is going to emancipate mankind. It is ultimate enlightenment that human beings are going to go and live in Mars because of AI. So this is the boomer group. The doomer group says, no, AI is really bad, it's going to kill us, the planet is going to be destroyed. Now where does the truth lie? Where does the truth lie? And as Professor Yugal was talking about it yesterday, it's a technology, it's a double-edged weapon. It depends on who's going to use it. If it's in the hands of the people, unless people own up AI, it's not going to happen. You want my data, you have to build an AI that suits me. Now that kind of thinking process, that kind of maturity and organization and opposition towards the development of AI, that kind of organization is not happening anywhere. And this is something which the progressives have to really think in terms of, and we have to move forward in a way that AI is being used for the people and by the people. Thank you all for your patience today.
Thank you, Dr. Ramesh, for your wonderful presentation. Then we'll go for a tea break.
10 minutes,
12:10 you have to assemble again. Okay.
10 minutes.
Presentation. Let me welcome Shanti ma'am to present her presentation.
Yes, so this looks like because whatever being told by Dr. Satit and Dr. Venkatesh, everything is done by Government of India with our money. That's a one-line presentation. So this is National Digital Health Mission. It is now renamed as Ayushman Bharat Health Mission. In one line, the presentation, Jerome, please keep silence. If anybody wants to speak, please go out. Don't disturb others who are ready to listen. Okay, so the National Digital Health Mission has been renamed as Ayushman Bharat Health Mission. And instead of keeping this name, the government can simply name it as National Digital Data Mission, because that is what the very purpose. The very purpose of this is not to help the people or patients or anybody. It is just for the marketing. And this is the digital epidemiology. We have lot of data everywhere with reference to health field and other field. This National Digital Health Mission, we have a health ID and personal health data records. All these things is enormous data. So it has got a 5 important component. First component is health ID. Every patient who wishes to have a document in the online can give, we can enter have a unique health ID. So there is something called digital locker. All of us can keep our degrees. No, like that it is. We are just keeping our own blood report, diagnosis, everything. So for that we are creating a unique health ID, and that my records are getting recorded there. That is called patient health record, and then that is being kept as an electronic way. That is electronic medical record. This is the third component, and this is DigiDoctor platform. So as a patient, as an individual, I am ready to share my data, and I am creating a unique ID and keeping all my data. I am allowing them, I am giving them the data to the government in that mission. This is with reference to doctor. I am a doctor, I am a gynecologist. I am ready to give where I studied, what is my age, everything. What is my area of interest, what is my working time, everything I am giving to the government. That is DigiDoctor platform. And next is the health facility registry. This is to connect who is available for which patient at what time. Like this is the main 5 component of the National Health Mission. And here everybody is involved. So the caregiver, patients, and then whoever is involved, third party agents, insurance company, everybody is involved. This is the slide is by the National Digital Health Mission ecosystem by the government. Here everybody is there who are all involved in the industry related to this. So this is all this many quintal bytes of data is there. So many data available, and this is being used for everybody. And then it was previously named, this health data is the raw material, which is the oil, and it is everything, and it is the money for others. And why we are bothered? People may think that I am a doctor and I can sit and I can practice. But for doctors, it is becoming a problem. And so it is becoming a problem to the patient also. Because if I am spending a lot of money to run my clinic, naturally I will collect the money from the patient only. So whatever is expenditure I am doing for my clinic, whether it is rent or EB or whatever it may be, I will collect from the patient only. So here is the problem. So that is the problem with the hacking and commercial misuse. So what is the rules? That is the Clinical Establishment Act, Consumer Protection Act, Private Practice Guidelines. These two are act and then guidelines, all these given by the Government of India, and everything is mandated. You have to keep all your open patient records for videos, inpatient records for vendors, and encode the basis and generate records, and encode the basis in the end. So the patient side and you have to have all the records. Previously I used to keep 25 years. Now the safety you have to keep it like that. So it is the bulk. So you now will have in a small clinic setup or a big setup. So you cannot have hard disk and all, so you have to go for cloud and you have to pay the rent. And that rent you have to get it from the patient. So naturally the consulting fees increases. Patient used to say, just I went there, doctor spent only few minutes and just gave a paper and wrote only 2 lines, but asking for 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees. Where is the expenditure? All this expenditure will go only. And then according to the law, If the patient is coming and asking me the detail, a patient comes to me, the patient lost the OP ticket, they can get the duplicate from us and we have to provide it in 3 days. And another law says we have to give it in 5 days. And for emergency, you have to give it in 24 hours. How can you give all this data in a clinic? A patient who came to you 10 months before suddenly is asking and give me the detail of mine. It is not possible. Or to make it possible, you need to spend a lot of money. And that is the thing. So, where you will so. So, the CD, pen drive, hard disk, cloud, everything is costly. And now, this is the Singapore HIV data leak shakes the vulnerable community. And HIV patients' data, 43,000 from a pathological lab reported leaked online. So, it is a breach. And then sexual health clinics leaks the HIV patient name. Persistent sensitive information reaches failing the people. Confidentiality. And why leaking of the identities is in Tamil Nadu. So, Aadhaar details of 81.5 crore people leaked in India. This is the biggest data breach. And this is done by Indian Council of Medical Research. The biggest data breach of the whole world happened in India through Indian Council of Medical Research. They are not accountable, but when you are in the clinic, you are accountable, and this is the problem. Okay. So, coronavirus hackers get data 80,000 COVID patients in Delhi. So this is a very interesting thing. There are something called ethical hackers. They said that we can hack all the data sources we can hack, and they said we can do it in 5 minutes, and they did it in 5 minutes. And that is the thing. So that much weak system we have. Okay. So another one you might be remembering that the Arogya Setu app, which was introduced by the government of India during the COVID time, it was made mandatory, and it just tracked wherever we went. Every data they said finally you need not, but it was made compulsory, and that is the thing. And then Chinese, that's again a business. So Chinese hackers target Indian vaccine makers, Serum Institute and Bharat Biotech. Because it's a business, whether India is coming out with the first vaccine or China. The Indian vaccine was better than the Chinese vaccine, so they wanted to hack through their own this one. So the privacy is a very big problem. Keeping the privacy is a very big problem. So health technology assessment, unintended disclosure by the authorized person. If I am owning a nursing home or a company or anything of that matter, I am just telling as an example for hospital, for anybody, any company, whatever it may be, unintended disclosure by authorized personnel, that MD, that is responsible. Intended disclosure, again responsible. Privacy data loss, virtual hacking, everything is a problem. And there may be relationship problem. If HIV status is revealed, divorce will happen. That happened in Chennai also. So they also went to the court against a big corporate hospital. The compensation was asked in crore for revealing the HIV status. So the relationship, job problem. So loss of trust, loss of customer, monetary actions, the legal actions are there. And this is a very big problem for us. And why we are talking so much? So one new act has come in India that is called DPP Act, Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023. It has already come into act, and the rules have also been formed, and that is the problem, and that is going to create a big havoc. And any problem somebody may find. See, the HIV status of a patient is leaked from a particular insurance agency, company, whatever it may be. But it's a sensitive information. Do you know the fine? How much is the fine? Imagine the fine. It is 250 crore rupees fine according to that act. The fine can be up to 250 crore. That is DPDP Act says in India. That act is already act form. It is in the bill form, now it is an act form from 2023 onwards. And one more line in that act says, if not 250, you can give 10%. The 10% is 25 crore. That is also not possible. So this is the biggest problem with reference to India, where we don't, it's very difficult to keep the everything secret. So 250 crore, 2 crore, this is act thing. For 250 crore, 200 crore, up to 150 crore, 50 crore, like that. So it is how fines are determined. according to the nature, gravity, duration, data type, this fine has been decided, and this is the data can be stolen or the cyber attacks can be there and we are answerable. All these things, this is a big problem. So this Ayushman Bharat digital mission is taking away all our data, and there is a leak from their side, but the government is not accountable. But only the patients are, only the patient, doctors and other people are affected by this. And previously also there was a few apps done by government, it's Handhold, Even app, and then before COVID, this is by government. And then after COVID, RFI Setu and COVID platform, it just has taken away all our data, which is money for business, for the corporate, by the government of India. And this is very important. So the loss of medical records, such kind of, this is advantage, disadvantage. The patient cannot carry all the details to everywhere wherever they go. From one place, the patient goes to another place, and there they can become sick. There they can go to the doctor, and the doctor asks what is the previous records. They cannot carry. So if there is a digital method, they can put that unique ID and they can get all the information. It's really good. And most of the time we have to repeat the test for want of the paper. That is also possible. We can have all the data. So again and again we need not do the test because for missing the papers. But this is all a good advantage. But at the same time, it is not being utilized for that purpose alone. Totally it is meant for the business, and ABTM should be purely voluntary, and the government says. But indirectly in practice, this Ayushman Bharat digital mission has now become mandatory, and that's the problem. So this is going to be a very big problem. And there is a digital divide, and in rural area there is no internet, there is no smartphone, and when you make it mandatory for everybody to get the insurance, to get Ayushman Bharat insurance, they are making it mandatory. It is very difficult for the people. And this is the something about the data. Most of the important things is already written by the previous speakers. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Next,
Thank you, ma'am. Let us welcome. Let us welcome Dr. Ramesh, State Treasurer of DASE, Doctors Association for Social Equality, to give this presentation.
Different algorithms and the computational resources to perform intelligent tasks autonomously, like making decisions, analyzing data, predicting events, and solving problems. So it has potential to enhance patient outcomes, reduce cost, and optimize the delivery of anesthesia care. So AI has role in following areas. I will explain one by one. So first one is surgical risk identification. We know our life expectancy has increased. So science and technology has increased. So lot of complex surgeries have been performed. So to predict surgical risk, we need some kind of calculator. So for this, we have my surgery risk calculator. In this calculator or in this app, we can enter patient age, sex, and medical condition, BMI, and other previous medical surgeries. So if we enter, this app will give accurate risk for surgery. So then predictive ICU admission. So since we are performing lot of complex surgeries, so we have to predict whether this patient needs ICU service or not. So if we know, we can already put ICU in advance. Then for anesthesia dose management, for acute administration of drug dose, it is for acute administration of drug dose, it is very essential to give accurate dose. Okay, because each patient is unique, therefore necessary anesthesia dose vary significantly based on factors like age, BMI, and past and current health condition. So it reduces the risk of underdosing or overdosing. So it will enhance the prevalence of drug side effects. So currently we have 3 models to deliver drugs. Okay. In this model, if we enter anesthesia dose level, so it will automatically calculate dose level and start injecting. So thereby we can reduce underdosing or overdosing. So in this model, AI will detect brain activity, and based on brain activity, this machine will automatically calculate drug dose and will start delivering. So by this we can avoid underdosing or overdosing. Both are problematic. If overdose is given, patient may develop the pulse and breathing drop. If underdose is given, patient can know what is happening. So then monitoring. So during surgery, we have to monitor BP, pulse, oxygen level, and ECG changes. Traditionally, we are monitoring with normal monitors, but sometimes it may take time to detect. In advanced AI models, they will detect BP or oxygen level in advance and alert us patient going to develop BP drop or going to develop decrease in oxygen level. So we can predict and act accordingly. Then decision-making support system. During critical times, it is very difficult to confirm diagnosis and start treatment. So at that time, AI models will help in reconfirming the diagnosis, so we can personalize treatment and drug dosing. So it will also ensure highest safety during surgery and during critical times. So in this monitor, AI model will assess BP, pulse, oxygen level in advance. Even before dropping the monitor, it will give warning signs. Then pain management. Traditionally, we are treating pain based on patient self-reporting. Patient says they have pain, we will give painkillers. But in AI model, it uses behavioral methods and neurophysiological methods. So through this method, based on facial expression and language processing, body posture analysis, and the respective patterns, it will detect pain level. Not only through behavioral methods, through electronic signals also, they will assess pain signals, like using skin activity, muscle activity, and brain activity. So by combining this behavioral method and neurophysiological method, it will give accurate score of pain. So this will help in managing pain. So by this method, AI will analyze pain signals in brain. So even if patient is unconscious or patient is under sedation or in ventilator, based on these signals, we can manage pain. For this, AI is not useful. And then for minor surgeries, we can do under local anesthesia. For this, we need to identify nerves. In obese patients, it is very difficult to nerve structure. But AI models will help in identify nerve structures. They will show exactly where are the nerves. So we can block accurately and give efficient local anesthesia. Then app-based workflows. So recently Hyderabad-based startup company has started one company like Uber and Urban. Okay. These apps register hospitals, surgeons, and anesthesia doctors from all over the city. So hospitals and surgeons can post the details of surgery in this app. So through this app, they can get anesthesia services. Though initially it looked good for freelancing doctors, then hospitals started exploiting the doctors by quoting notice. So this is the problem. In this AI model, since automated machine models are using drug dosage and they are delivering drugs, so earlier department used to have each senior anesthetist in each operation theatre. But nowadays that practice is going to change. because one senior doctor, that is head of the department, will be available. Using technicians and using these automated machines, they have started giving anesthesia services by reducing the number of anesthesia doctors. So these are problems. This is one app. So though it is useful for predicting risk and drug dosage and monitoring vital signs and optimizing delivery, so it cannot replace empathetic care provided by human professionals. Then integration of AI with anesthetic practice, so may breach privacy. So privacy needs to be protected. Then app-based service needs to be monitored and exploitation of doctors should be avoided. Then apps in healthcare. So we know apps are software programs that are designed to manage, improve, track wellness and medical data for patients and professionals. They have demonstrated that mobile apps can lead to improved health outcomes. They simplify daily life by bridging the gap between users and technology. So there are thousands of apps, but we majorly divide into four. So apps for hospitals, apps for medical staff, apps for patients, apps for public. So apps for hospital, each hospital has their own apps. So through these apps, so they manage operations, so they optimize resources, they will get data-driven insights. So through this they can know where the workforce is needed, so they can allocate resources. Then remote care and supervision. By these apps, they set up clinics in periphery and manage from distance. Then apps for doctors. So there are many apps for doctors. For academic purpose, these are commonly used apps, doctors, Europe, daily rounds, and retail. So through these apps, the doctors discuss their clinic cases among the community and get inputs from senior doctors. This is one of the platforms. So for appointment fixing, doctors uses the Practo app. So I think everyone is aware of this app. So by registering their name in this app, so they can fix appointment. So these apps are useful for doctors for fixing appointment, even giving prescription and maintaining records. And for individual doctors, the stress level will be lower if they have these apps. Then apps for patients. So for chronic patients or chronic illness, so these kind of apps will be helpful. So this app is for monitoring blood pressure. So patients can record their BP in this app daily, and they can see the trend for weekly, monthly. Okay. So based on this trend, they can identify whether BP is increasing or decreasing, and they can manage and act accordingly. So this app is for monitoring blood sugar. So we can check blood sugar and update this in the app. So we can see the trend whether patient is getting high blood sugar or low blood sugar. So according to this, we can get treatment. Then apps for public. So for public, there are many apps, particularly women health apps and fitness apps are important. So this is basic flow app. So menstrual flow app. So using this app, so women can track the menstrual period and ovulation period, pregnancy. Okay. If women aspiring for pregnancy can track this ovulation period. Okay. This is one of common apps. Then pregnancy tracker app. This pregnancy tracker app is used to track fetal movement and fetal development. So they can consult doctors also through this app. So in this app they will get educational videos, awareness videos. So these are fitness apps. So my part fitness, this is commonly used app. So these fitness apps are used for weight management, so health improvement. This one is Apple Fitness app. So these are used to monitor health metrics and follow exercise plans. So they give personalized coaching and workouts for various goals from weight loss to strength building. So these are some common type of apps. Then there are diet apps. So these apps used to manage weight, to improve health status, so to maintain calorie level. Then these apps will help to take the level of micronutrients and macronutrients. Micronutrients like vitamins and minerals, macronutrients like carbohydrates, proteins and vitamins. These will give adequate information. We can set our goal to weight loss. So based on our weight goal, they will give suggestions. Then this is speedometer app. This is step counter 10,000 feet. So these apps track our daily steps and the distance. So these apps will show calories burned. So these are some common apps. These are mental wellness apps. These apps help to track mood changes and manage stress level. So for sleep management, this app will be beneficial. So through this app, we can contact mental therapists. They offer 24/7 support. So fitness market is in India is booming to 4.5 billion by 2030 from 1.9 billion in 2024 due to rising health. So the increased focus on wellness, especially post-pandemic, setting fitness to a lifestyle necessity, concern over sedentary lifestyle and obesity. Okay. Thank you.
Ramesh is treasurer and he is analyst in the biggest corporate hospital in Chennai, that is Apollo. And next comes our students, inspired by our Dr. Yugal Rayu, Dhanush Kumar and Vasant is interested to come out with their next presentation. Abhinattam. Dhanush Kumar and Vasant will be giving their next presentation. Vanga, ready? Appreciate them for suddenly accepting this. Come from Vasant was talking too much to me. I said you talk big on the dais. That is the way.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. I'm Dhanush Kumar. So now I'm going to talk about some of the things that our students are facing in our clinical sites. So we have a workload lot of according to the government has given 48 hours for the CGs and CRLA in clinical site, but we are working that 36 to 40 hours in a week. So it gives a lot of stresses for us. So we can't able to work. Withstand in that stresses. So we have a lot of personal issues and mental issues. So in our exams also we can't focus on the studies because of this working model. In clinical side also we are doing a prep work instead of the practical work. So we can't get the proper practical knowledge to treat the patients. So in that also the doctors also very much less. So the less numbers of the doctors need to handle much more patients. So that makes them to work a lot in period. So doing prep work does not give any of the practical knowledge. So we need to technology need to use it. So we make the prep work. We make a digitalize in the prep work means we can easily access it at any time at any cost. We don't need to work in the prep, but we can treat the people. We can give more time for the patients to handle. Then there is also another much more issues for us. In this society also we can't get unemployment. We have more of unemployment in the giving a proper pay, stipends for us to work. If they give the stipends, and it is also not getting the proper time, so we can't able to route it expenses at the time. So we need to get a proper payment for this.
So what he wants to say is, that is continuously, the government says 1 week, 48 hours maximum you have to work. But they are made to work continuously 48 hours. That's one problem. And second thing, they are made to do a lot of clerical work, unrelated work, and then same report they have to write in 10 places. So the technology is there. They can make use of the technology to do it so that their time will not be wasted and they can get a lot of clinical exposure. So the government knows that, but still the government of India, Tamil Nadu are not ready to digitalize the whole hospital, government hospital process. And that is why. And this is the thing which we got from the Doctors Association for Social Equality. We went to the court and we got few judgment which says that it is enough if you work continuously in a week for 48 hours or 8 hours per day. But unfortunately, those judgments and all those things are not being followed. We got the judgment 3 times in Tamil Nadu High Court, but in 2013-15. But till today, it is not being implemented. Till today, we are asking the government to digitalize, to do all MRD, everything in an electronic data method, but it is not being done. And that is why. So as Dr. Rai said, technology is there, but it is for whom they are using it. That is the thing. And next comes the transparency. The NEET examination is there, about which Dr. Vasant will speak.
Good morning, everyone. In this AI technology era, all things are shifted from offline mode to online mode. As compared to the NEET PG examination and FMG examination, NEET super specialty, every exams are changed from paper-based to online software-based examination. If a student is conducting an online exam, upon submission, you can get the marks. Out of 100, how many marks you score. But in the government sector exam, after submitting, you can get your result after 1 month of completing your exam. If a software is built in means of incorporating a calculator inside the app, and it's also watching the time management, including your eye movement, then why the result, upon submission, why the scores is not transparent on that software? Whether the technology is not sufficient for that, this is a big question mark. But the result is publishing after 1 month. In between 1 month, what happening inside the technology, inside the software? That's what Dr. Raido said, the AI technology is double-edged sword. They can use this examination to reduce the manpower. Also, they are using this technology to correct the mark, whether if they need to increase the mark or need to decrease the mark, the technology is doing. And second thing, for applying any of the documentation process, everything is automated. If they ask any documents, you can scan it and you can upload it. But upon the stage of verification or something, everything is transparency, but the officials using the technology as double-edged sword. If you are like person means your document will be verified within a day. If you are not a likely person means your document will be stacked more than 30 or 45 days. Upon the MBBS students, those who are doing the CRRI process, in the time of CRRI, still in many of the government colleges, they are writing the discharge summary in pen and paper based. But even you need to write all the paid investigations in 10 sites. So if the technology has been implemented in all the government medical college, you can just use copy paste. But upon not like that, every CRRI is writing one person paid investigation in 10 sites. So still the government is not using this technology in a proper way. If a doctor is writing a report very speedily, and if the handwriting is scribbled, also means instead of hyper, it shows hypo, means the treatment modality will be changed and it will become a big question mark for that patient who is believing the government system. So everything need to be changed in a technological manner so that the unemployment will be lifted up. And we don't know how about the robot surgeries are doing. if some nurse crossed and if a wire cut off means what the surgery will happen or what the surgery will end up in the end. So technology is important in such a way which benefit the human nature, not to suffer the human nature. Thank you.
So wonderfully it was told. These things are another thing. Don't engage PG medical students in Madras High Court says this is Dr. Ravindranath filed this case, Doctors Association for Social Equality, and this paper cutting is 24 hours continuous duty system abolished in Tamil Nadu in 2015. Till now it is not being followed. Where we have got so many not so. This is more work, more duty time, and that is but whatever we do, we are only questioned. So we are coming to the end session. Actually, Dr. Vaideni, wife of Dr. Ramesh, is supposed to come today. Due to suddenly one person had heart attack, so she could not come. So her presentation is only 5-6 slides. That is about the designer baby. That is the baby which is being scientifically produced. Yeah, I know. And this secret. Gene editing. That's gene editing and designer baby. So why we are talking about this? Yeah. So this is very important. We can edit the gene. Already that mechanism is there. We can edit the body gene, that is somatic gene, and treat certain diseases. But editing the gene of the ovary, sperm both together, ova and sperm together forming a baby, and that baby's gene editing will affect not only the baby but also the generations. And whether that is okay, that has been accepted now. And that is why we are talking. So the gene editing technology which is being used for correcting the genetic diseases. The somatic gene editing is the individual, only the individual is treated and it is not heritable. It will not go to the generation. But gene editing it will go to the across the generation. And there are certain diseases which we are following now. The designer baby is a child whose genome is intentionally modified to prevent disease. And that is okay. Next point is the problem, and that's the point of discussion. Treating a disease is fine, but what about enhancing the trait, intelligence, height, appearance? I want a tall, white, fair person to bring out. And doctor, I want like this, so do this, and I fertilization. And here comes the problem, and that is possible with the gene editing, or we going to allow it? So the two different categories, therapeutic editing is acceptable, enhancement editing, that is non-medical, is it okay? And that is a problem. This is the body treatment, that is somatic gene editing, sickle cell disease, beta thalassemia, all these things is okay and acceptable, but this is germline editing is irreversible fact, and every future cell, every future generation carries the change. Are we going to accept? Suddenly this person did a research and that was kept secret. What he did, he edited the gene, and so that particular gene, that particular man is resistant to HIV infection. Later that he came out with that he has achieved that. And CRISPR gene editing technology offers a new hope for HIV cure, but faces delivery challenges. And what it is, it shocked the world. Nobody knows that he is doing such kind of a treatment, such kind of a research. So there is no such necessity. What is the necessity? To create a man so that he is resistant to HIV, and that will end it in a different manner. Everywhere it will go. So unknown long-term risk bypassed global scientific consensus. This event moved a gene editing from theoretical ethics to clinical reality. There are a lot of scientific risk in that. So off-target mutation. We may plan to edit something, it may edit in some other way, and so it may cause new diseases, and that is the thing. So ethically, the unborn child has got a right. As a mother, as an individual, as a doctor, as a scientist, I cannot simply edit the baby which is going to be born, and we are not considering its consent. And that is the thing that this is the area of interest nowadays which is going on, and gene editing is being done now with some restriction in few part of the country. And real future question is, when a couple asks for gene editing to prevent disease, what will you say? And that is the thing. And there's a near future, we can do such kind of embryo editing. And in India's specific perspective, it is very costly. The need for strong ethical committee and correlation. And gene editing here is to say somatic editing for medical revolution. It has treated many important diseases, but gene editing, germline editing is ethically risky. And designer babies are not science fiction. Doctors will be gatekeepers and not spectators. The new era of gene editing in the treatment of human diseases has come. The rise of gene therapy is a new era in medicine. And from science fiction to medical reality, we are going. Gene therapy in action, it is going to treat the cancer. And of course, we have challenges and ethical thing. And now we are in the golden era of treating the thing. This is the point. This is for AIPF. All of you can. She is a doctor, and she is Dr. Tamilisi Soundarajan. She is a gynecologist. See her statement. For mentally and physically sound babies, read Ramayana. And the Telangana governor, and she is a doctor. And read Ramayana, chant Sundaragandam to give birth Sanskari Deshbhakt babies. And she is also a doctor. This is which one? Garbha Sanskar project. And this one way, this Hindu rationalist promises the superior babies. The other way, the technology is telling that designer babies. So the AIPF have to discuss about in depth. Thank you. I thank Dr. Vaideri for this. Thank you.
The paper was kind of pro it's not to go against the fight and fight for certain the counter adverse effects is going to happen in society against some historical references. Now, if there are certain questions, if there are technical terms are causing problems, you can look them up on the internet. The overall paper is clarification I will manage to today. Thank you so much.
So thank you so much, sir, and great congratulations from the audience also. So we are lacking very much time. That is why we are not taking up question right now. So just one question from.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for a good
Okay, thank
presentation.
you.
Thank you. We'll take one question, sir.
Yeah.
We want to know in this emerging threat in terms of the people being converted into data points. You were talking in terms of mass agitation and mass activism. What other solutions that you propose for tackling this problem as a progressive?
Yes, when I say mass activism, it is because we must ensure that this term, what is a paradigm technological shift and how it is going to affect this must reach to the mass level. And then mass activism involves putting pressure on the government to be more and more kind of authoritative and regulate these things. Presently, the government is dictated by the people and being controlled by corporates. So this is the only way out, I feel, only democratic way out. The other would be the kind of revolutionary stuff where we would be asking them to ignore and avoid technology and go for traditional things.
Thank you.
I think for the time being, it takes time and this paradigm shift becomes kind of more and more gradual. Do we hear?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, I will. Yeah, I will request Dr. Parnav sir and a further request that please maintain the brevity because we are running short of time. So please conclude within a time period. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Best wishes from me.
Thank you, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah. Yes, sir. You are clearly audible.
And one more point. Can I share my screen?
Of course, sir. From your end.
Yes, thank you. Is it visible? Is it visible? Good morning, everyone. My topic is the ever-evolving consumer behavior in the light of economic principles. Principles amid paradigms in technology. First of all, let me introduce myself. I am Dr. Pranav Sehgal from Department of Economics, RN College, Hajipur, and I also am also in the capacity of co-convener at AIPF Bihar. What are traditional visible slides are visible?
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you. First of all, I want to say that what is consumer behavior? That I have made my topic on consumer behavior. I just want to clarify two concepts. What is consumer behavior and what is consumer equilibrium? Consumer behavior is the behavior which consumer displays while purchasing goods and services in the market. While consumer equilibrium is the state of consumer behavior where consumer thinks that he is doing perfectly alright and he doesn't intend to change his behavior. So consumer behavior is simple display of behavior and consumer equilibrium is the state of consumer behavior where consumer is fully satisfied with his behavior. So there are amid these technological shifts, there are two types of theories, that is traditional economic view and modern behavioral economic view. Traditional economic view assumes consumer as a rational being who aims to maximize utility under income and price constraints. But what is modern reality? The modern reality is that consumer is not that rational. He is influenced by social media, he is influenced by technology, and utility is a psychological phenomenon which can default for anyone. In a digital economy, and that digital economy has transformed consumption from a private act to a socially visible, technologically medicated process, and social media influencers now say consumer choices. But there are two branches of economics, that is traditional economics and behavioral economics. Traditional economics assumes that consumers are rational agents who aims to maximize his satisfaction or utility from the consumption of goods and services. But behavioral economics has thrown cautions to the assumption of rationality. Rationality. It recognizes bounded rationality and utility as a psychological phenomenon and it is subjective phenomenon. So both branches of economics are good for their times. In earlier times where technology is not that developed, traditional economics was perfectly alright. But now behavioral economics is taking over in the traditional economics. Now I just want to quickly come to the shifts, the demonstration effect. Consumer behavior is largely affected by demonstration effect. Demonstration effect was introduced by J.H. Gibson Bailey in economics, where individuals try to imitate or try to copy the consumption pattern of socially admired groups. For example, we are copying certain brand ambassadors certain revenue stars, because high income groups have a distinct aspirational lifestyle. It is socially visible and imitation is possible. It change preferences. Technology has broken. What is the role of technology in this? Technology has broken the barrier and now even technology has broken barriers and now even rural consumers are following the trends in social media. So the social effect is not limited to certain areas of high income group. It is widely visible in rural, urban, suburban, high income, low income or middle income group. So this is the role of technology. It has broken the geographical barriers and demonstration effect is visible in consumer behavior everywhere. Second is structure effect. The different has also talked about structure effect. Structure effect is the effect where the standard of living rises, the income rises, the consumption pattern also rises. But what happens if the consumption pattern gets reduced due to income? But in rapid effect there is no such thing. It is very difficult to reduce consumption. Once the consumption rises because of high income, unfortunately, if the income is reduced, the consumption is not reduced to that level. And we can mobile data platform as a prime example of that, where consumption habits are sticky downward. Flexible upward, but sticky downward. That if a person has certain of high level of consumption due to high income, but when his income reduces, he is not willing to reduce the consumption. And then what happens is the effect is that the indebtedness and increases. Because EMI culture develops. EMI culture develops and everybody wants to fulfill their prices, even if they are not capable of buying it. So they are asking for EMI and loans. So they are just going in for debt trap. Another effect which is quite common is bandwagon and snob effect. Bandwagon effect is the effect which purely depends on fashion. That a consumer wants to have a good or service because it's ready. And it produces positive externalities. Positive externalities are external effects which gives positivity to consumers. And if others are using, and I will also use it. It is called bandwagon effect. Snob effect is just the opposite of bandwagon effect. Snob effect is more for uniqueness. A book is demanded only if it is unique. And as soon as the large number of consumers will purchase it, the uniqueness goes and certainly the demand decreases.
Sorry to interrupt, sir. Please conclude in 3 minutes if possible, yeah? Please.
Yeah. Then another thing is the prevalent goods. Prevalent goods are those goods which is used for conspicuous consumption. Conspicuous consumptions are those consumptions which are done for show or for getting status or prestige. Technology is catalyst. Technology has network effect, algorithm effect, reduced friction and expanded credit patterns as well. Now I am going to way forward. What is way forward and how the technological paradigm shift has changed rationality of economic principles to behavioral generalization. Secondly, today consumer behavior and economic activity is performed in the market. It is performed in the market. And the third concept is market is not a geographical place. Due to technological advancement, market is a phenomenon now, a platform now. It is not a place for exchange of goods and services. Fourth is demand is affected by bandwagon, snob, and prevalent goods. Fifth is that the method through which consumers exchange goods and services, that is money. The system of money has also changed. Money has changed from barter system to metals to currency and now digital currency. But technology has improved accessibility of education and health, but it has also increased the cost of education and health, making it a multi-stakeholder industry where welfare and social justice are going to suffer. And lastly, I want to say that technology should be handled with a great care because it produces asymmetrical information and moral hazards. Because there are many information due to technological advancements and moral hazards are possible. Technology in the development should be handled with a great care. Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Parnav Sekhar, for your presentation. And Dr. Parnav Sekhar is co-coordinator of AIPF Bihar, right? And he is very active in our discussion. He is an economist. He is head of the economics department in Hajipur. So he is very active and he is theorizing many things. So thank you everyone for your presentation. Over to Santi ma'am.
Thank you for both the speakers who have taken to it online. So thank you for your wonderful input. Technically we should have given more time.
Any questions if possible?
Not now, sir.
So we request.
Questions, they will message you or communicate us and we will convey it, right?
Revati madam,
Thank you for this.
Okay. I request Rajini
please come.
I request Revati madam to honor Dr. Rajini. To honor Dr. Venkatesh, நிறைய பேசிட்டு மொத்தம் போட்டோ எடுங்க வசந்தி போஸ்ட் பண்ணுறது
போன என்கிட்ட கொடுத்துருந்தோம் பார்த்து
I request legal writer to honor Vasant come.
One second. Okay, sir.
Send the present. Abhinav, I request Senthil Rajan to honor Abhinav. I request Dhanush Kumar to come over here. Request Ravindranath to honor. So, great future for AIPF. The first year MBBS, he is very happy. Thank you. Sajid, I want Sajid. Sajid? Sorry, Ramesh.
Dr. Ramesh.
Ramesh. Okay. Okay, so we'll break for lunch now. Exactly by
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock, everybody have to assemble here. Kindly keep the time. Thank you.